Hello, my beautiful people. I hope you're doing well. Today, oh, there went the alert. So if you didn't get alert by YouTube, I would like you to go and resubscribe and re-click the bell. I know it's a pain in the butt, but every time YouTube does an update, it knocks a bunch of us off the list of, being subscribed and all that. So today we're going to be talking about the unknown person. Now, you're like, what kind of conspiracy crap is this? But wait a minute. Just wait till you hear this. So let's say hello to a few people. You are joining a live that is then recorded. And if you are not in the live chat, you might be watching a replay. And I want to say thank you for that. And thank you to everybody that supports the channel. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. Now, I just got done doing a video right before this on Madeline Soto with a big update, and she did not go to school that day. She did not even leave the house on her own that morning. And so go watch that video. There is something in there that I will suggest, and that is make sure your school is on the list for letting you know when your kid is missing school before the end of the day. Just saying. All right, you guys, how is everybody? Natural Healing, Dana Lynn, Karen Guy, Jenny Troglin, Baby Jean, baby, welcome to 1111 True Crime, and Blessed Angie, welcome all of you. Hey, Sherry Cross, how are you? June Coggins, hello to everybody. All right, so you guys, let's get into this. I listen to certain people on YouTube. I like listening to Jules of All Trade. I enjoy it, and I also get a lot of good information. I will listen to harsh reality sometimes. And another person I enjoy is 666 seconds of, and I always get this wrong, so forgive me, but Metal, Mayhem, and Murder, I believe is the name. I like watching him. These Grizzly True Crimes, another one. And then Unfiltered Lucky is another. Now, I trust these people. When they do something and they say something, I trust them. So if they come out with a statement that I have not heard before, I tend to believe it more than not because of the history of what they provided on information that I know to be true. Okay? Did that make sense? Give me a 1 if you all feel about like I do. Like, do you feel that, and I've never done this ever before, but do you feel like there are certain creators that you just know when they share something that they're very clear if it's, throwing spaghetti to see if it sticks on the wall or if it's fact? There are just certain creators that do a really good job. Okay, so Jenny Troglin says she happens to like all of those. Hi, Janie Tasker from the UK. Hello, hello. Yes, correct, says Natural Healing. Hi, Tickety Boo. I love saying Tickety Boo. I don't know. I just always say Tickety Boo Hoo. All right, so you feel me. So I was watching Unfiltered Lucky, and he was going through explaining, and I've heard him say this many times, that he actually has the article where in the beginning it was explained that one person got taken to the hospital. And I'm like, that is so, hold on a minute. I gotta scratch my cheek where my mic is. Remember, it's alive, right? Okay. So I'm like, wait a minute. Then he says that he got in touch with the person that wrote the article, all right? And I've been waiting for him to do a live. I've tried to give him a lot of space for him to do it first, but I can't contain it anymore because I'm full of curiosity. So I promise you, I'm not trying to steal nobody's thunder. Please don't hit me, okay? Don't be hitting me up on this. But I want us to go put messages over there in support of Lucky to share it because I want to know more. Allegedly, the reporter has validated that that is what the reporter said. So then I was like, that's so strange. Look at your screen. How many people do you see in the picture? I know it sounds stupid, but follow me. We've got Xana and Ethan. We've got Maddie and Kaylee, the 4 victims. And then we have 2 survivors, right? Well, who took the picture? Who is the individual? Now, we heard Kaylee's mom say that that is actually the last picture that was ever taken of these kids that she has received, and it's still on her phone. And that it was the very same day, the very last day they're alive. So, my question to you guys, who in the hell took this picture? Number 2, my second question is, do you remember there was a 6th roommate that was quickly dismissed as to have signed the lease but never lived there? Could that be the other survivor? I'm just asking you guys. Sherry Krause says, I enjoy Unfiltered Lucky and Grizz. I will check out MMM. Yes, do. He does a good job. With every creator out there, if they are doing their best to bring content that's on the up and up, doing their very best and trying to get justice, then I do support them, even if I didn't name them, right? Blue Jean Baby, you're in Idaho too. Well, welcome everyone. Sherry Cross says, like your channel, Mama D, we trust your information and insights. Thank you, lovely. Dana Lynn says, I believe that to be true because Ann Taylor has asked for the medical records on a person that no name was given. And we also have all this talk about confidential informant and how it could be a risk to the officers' lives and the person's life. And I'm like, who are they protecting? If Brian's already locked up, who are they protecting? It just is boggling my mind. It's coming from different directions that I'm getting this from. Like, I'm thinking about that 6th roommate that never lived there allegedly, signed the lease, didn't move in kind of thing. I'm like, that's interesting. But then I'm like, but they had that spare room. Why wasn't it being rented? Or now, my question is, was it? Was it? Was the reason that Dylan was up on the 2nd floor is because somebody was moving in? I'm just asking. Aw says, no, your dog barked right when you said someone was sent to the hospital. Sherry Cross, love when you say, now people, don't be getting on the phone to the popo. Brat guy or BF of one of the girls. Well, and that's another way to look at it. Maybe if it's not a survivor, would it be an attacker, a co-defendant? But wouldn't we have already heard about charges pressed? Or for some of you are going to come back at me and be like, yeah, but even if it was an attacker, if they were a brat, we're never going to hear about it. Right? The girl who said she already graduated was still on the lease. Interesting, right? Probably the roommate that wasn't. Hunter Johnson took the pick. Ooh, Sherry, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't keep up with some of it. I try to keep up with all of it. Yvonne Smith says, evidently, this isn't my channel. Well, I'm sorry, feel that way. I'm not saying all the boyfriends are bad. Why is this not your channel? Are you not getting enough attention? Because we don't play like that here. Monique says, I'm surprised we don't know who took that picture. It's the most popular one out there. Interesting. That's what I'm asking you. And that's why watch this screen as we get into it. I'm like looking at this picture and I'm thinking about Unfiltered Lucky, what he's saying. And he is telling us, and I truly believe him, that there is a newspaper report out there in the beginning that claimed 4 dead, 1 to the hospital. Now, here's where I said information comes from all different directions. Now, I'm telling you now, I cannot confirm any of it. It is all hearsay. All of this today that I'm talking about is hearsay. But when hearsay starts adding up, it's almost like circumstantial evidence in a sense in my book. So there are those that also claim to have heard, but it's been scrubbed from the internet, that Kaylee's mother stated Kaylee dialed 911. I don't know if it's true. I could be wrong, but I'm just sharing what I've heard. And like I said, it's all just YouTube chat. YouTube chat. But I figured, we might as well discuss it because it does concern me. Why wouldn't we know about this? I mean, would the defense know about it? And do you feel that Ann Taylor is doing Brian any justice when she says not the video was, quote, Brian's car? I wanted to kick Ann Taylor in the shin so effing hard because what the hell? What the actual hell? Not the video where you have Brian's car. How about saying you're believed to be suspect? Because that's bullshit. I don't either. That's a great point. Bellin says, I don't understand why Hunter was always at 1122. I don't either. I don't either. Okay, we're going to go with Sherry Cross's opinion. And she says, I think Ashlyn Couch, or Cooch, Coochie Coo? Ashlyn Cooch? I don't know how to say the last name. And I know, Sherry, you're going to give me how to spell it, and all the police are going to come out that work for the grammar school, and I'm just going to ignore you guys. So, Ashton Cooch was one of the outs backs then. I don't know. So, I don't know what the outs backs means. That doesn't make sense to me. Also, I thought Emily Hunter, Johnson's girlfriend, lived there, but got asked to leave when I thought it was because she was too nosy. Okay. All right. I hadn't heard that one. I had never heard that Hunter Johnson, his girlfriend, lived there. The mole says Hunt. Could be right. Right. I agree, Sherry. All of that we're discussing is just internet talk at this point. Dana Lynn says there is more pictures with lots of girls taken at the LL apartments that day. I didn't see Hunter J in the pictures. I'll have to find the pictures. Sherry Krause says, I said that about the roommate wasn't because apparently Hunter Johnson was always there 24/7 even though he had graduated already. And I believe he had his own apartment. Excellent point. So you guys, I got the weird email, and I don't even know if I can read it all in the time we have, but it talks about Jesse James Bailey, Emma Bailey, Steve G allegedly having a $700,000 debt, and then Dylan, the roommate's parents, paid off Jesse so that he didn't take out them. And this went on for days. This email goes on for absolute days. It's a lot of work this person has put together. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's not true. I am not alleging that it's true, but I'm going to ask you if it would be a video in itself on its very own. Okay, there's that much to it. So if you want to see that, if you want me to go through it all, then you guys leave a comment after this live in the comment section about, yeah, I want to see that long email. And I'm telling you, it is so many different parts and research. The person worked really hard to get it all together, but there is not one fact that I can verify in any of it. Okay? So it is like a theory is what we're going to call it. It gets absolutely, I'm telling you, it gets off the damn chart. Furniture and couch. Oh, Sherry, I'm like, the two words don't sound anything alike. Furniture and couch. I can't even combine those words. I'm so silly. Yes, this case, Melissa French, good to see you. This case does get crazier and crazier. I agree. I agree. Monique says maybe post an alleged in members page. Okay, that's a great suggestion. We can do that. We can do that. Definitely. I'll put one person's alleged theory and then I'll let you guys review it and I'll leave it in a member's post. If it will let me post that much. I mean, it does go on for days. Yeah, I have no idea if it's even. There are parts of it I'm like, absolutely, there's no way that that could have even happened. There are other parts I'm like, you know, that's kind of strange. It makes me question. Cheryl Butler, oh, thank you for that snooper chat. Idaho had a failed execution yesterday. Was it like multiple failures? I heard something about that. Nancy says, ha ha ha, I love you, Mama D. Are you not getting enough attention? You are awesome. Aw says, will the Syria involve the strange attempt to transfer $500,000? Could be. It's so long, I couldn't even read it all. So I'll say it could be. Oh Lord, failed execution. They couldn't find the IB. Says they couldn't find the vein for the IB. Says Robin. Ooh, Yvonne Poole. If that was from Justin, I've seen it before. It is out there. Okay. Well, I'm just saying. Somebody sent me the huge thing, and I'm like, it's so far out there. Hunt says, allegedly in the very beginning, heard that the landlord's son lived there when they lived there. I do really get drawn into that white Hyundai Elantra that was smashed and abandoned in Oregon. I pause. When it comes to Kopaka, I pause. And did you hear Judge Johnny Judge? Did you hear him? He didn't say Kohlberger at first. He said Kopager. So, what's wrong, Quentin? Oh, thank you. I heard him yell, like yelp, no. And the front door blew open and he didn't want the puppies going out. You prefer just the back, says Karen Guy. All right, you guys. I have a lot of concern on the fact that we have so much disinformation in this case that has gotten into a swirling drain down a hole. And so I feel like when I watch Ann Taylor and Judge Johnny Judge and Bill Tommy Santa Claus, which, is Satan, right? Could he be Satan? In my opinion. This triad, this little three-way conversation, it don't matter what we do out here. That's how I feel on the IDAHO4. I'm extremely discouraged. because this is hopeless. We have obviously a defense attorney that's afraid to offend the prosecution. We don't have a bulldog. We have someone that's, oh, I'm sorry for this, and I'm not trying to be mean. And it's like, okay, Anne, can you go please put on some big girl panties and grow a set of balls? Because we are dealing with a man's life here, and I need to see you execute some defensive moves. That is in your job title. Do not ever refer to the proposition that that's your client's video, even if you knew in your heart that that is your client on their video. You would not, as a defense attorney, volunteer the information. Oh, I'm not speaking of Brian's car video that you have. Excuse the F out of me. What a goddamn mess. We are literally watching a cover up in front of our very own eyes, and it is sugar coated in, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like, well, everything you guys are giving me is like a deck of cards, and I'm kind of confused because all the backs are the same, and I'm not trying to be mean, but like you guys are shoving bullshit down my throat, and I'm just sitting here smiling and playing a role and making a fortune, knowing that we're going to push us out until my grandkids have their college paid for, and they're going to go to the U of I, and it's a big snake that eats its own tail kind of circle, because it's about secret clubs and none of us can get blamed. So we picked a guy that kind of looks Jewish, because we're a Nazi community in my opinion, and so we picked somebody from out of state, and we don't really give a hoot, but we got like 27,000 subs on our new Judge Johnny Jumps YouTube channel. I had to pause. I'm sorry. I just channeled Betty Boop. That was me venting. That is what happens when I vent. I can't effing take it. You guys are here to get justice, but today I am venting because that little show was absolutely a Saturday Night Live skit. You got the judge up there. Well, you know, I know you want to see everything, but we don't want you talking to people. Because if you talk to people, then it's going to kind of mess things up. And we just don't want you talking to nobody. But, sir, I'm not going to talk to anybody, but I just need my investigators to look at the paperwork so that we can tell what the fuck is going on in this case. Okay, can we do that? Can we just see the paperwork? Like, you know, we know that the answer is 7 quadrillion billion zeros, but can we see the math how you got to 7 quadzillion quintuplets? Well, like I said, we don't want you to really talk to nobody. But, sir, I said we're not going to talk to nobody. Can we have the fucking paperwork? Kills me. I can watch about 10 minutes a day of that court. I can't even do a reaction video to it all at once because I literally start feeling ill. It's killing me. It's a joke. So, the whole Moscow, in my opinion, is like the same. We might as well call it Moscow. Okay, so hit me up, grammar, please. I'm intentionally calling it Moscow for my own opinion. Okay, I think there's a lot more to Stickergate than we realize, because this does not appear to be a democracy in any way. This is, you're going to play the patsy, I'm going to play this role, and we're going to put on smoke and mirrors Saturday Night Live skit here for the general public on YouTube when 4 people have been slaughtered. 4 families absolutely have been destroyed and changed for the rest of their lives and have had to rebuild from dirt. And you have the audacity to care what Bill Thompson feels like right now? Is he a victim? Do we give a shit what he feels? Because I sure the hell don't care what Bill Thompson feels at all. Nor do I care what Ann Taylor feels. I want them to do their job. Hey, Pokey Dots. I know you guys think I'm funny. No cast report. What? We're just getting autopsy x-rays? And you wanted to go to trial. Okay. Let me put it this way. You want to play hide and seek with all the evidence? All it does is tell all of us. And I saw the poll. I saw the poll that says, and it was by lots of hundreds and hundreds of people, that only at the point that I checked that poll, and it was another creator's poll, and they were brilliant, but 17% thought he was guilty. 27% said no. And guess what? A huge, huge amount said, we don't effing know. I've got lightheaded today. I'm lightheaded, Sean. Sean Collins says Mama's on fire this afternoon. Who is in the pocket? They're all in the pocket. Let me guess. What pocket are we talking about? I'm talking about a Letterman jacket with a big eye on it. That's who pocket they... Oh, I can't even talk, y'all. Give me a minute. Give me a minute to breathe. I got my blood pressure up. That's not easy to do. Woo-saw. Not gonna lose my shit. Already did. Too late. My H says, is anybody checking out the dean of the university as a vice president of the university? I just can't. If Brian Kohlberger is guilty, and I've always said, show me the evidence that he's guilty, I will not disagree with you. I don't care who is guilty. I want that person found, and I want justice served. If they had the right guy, so be it. Prove it. But until that guy can show his side of the story, which is what court is, it'd be kind of like this. You have a house full of kids, okay? Let's just take it to school. Let's take it to school. You got a classroom full of 15 kids. There's $1 missing off the teacher's desk and the apple. All right? Now, you know that apple and that money got taken in the 10 minutes you left the room. You know that. You know it was one of the children, but you don't know which one. So, you're going to have it tested, okay? It comes back with DNA on the apple, okay? Touch trace DNA. Now, here's my question. Who brought you the apple? Is it their DNA? Did another child pick up the apple and put it down and not take it? But the other thing is gone. So you don't know on that. You don't know on that. So can you take the DNA off the apple and grab that child and just automatically punish them? Or do you need to really look at the situation deeper and hear the child's story first? That's court. Hearing both sides. It's our judicial system. It's what makes us a democracy. We cannot have a democracy. We cannot have freedom if we don't address what they're doing with our DNA. What are they doing with our DNA? Are they just combining a whole huge computer while we have AI getting bigger and better and starting to take over so that all of a sudden AI is picking out which humans fit the crime? That's because we will not give up our rights to protect ourselves. And when I see a public defender blatantly comforting and catering, that's the word, to the prosecution, I'm calling it for what it's worth. This is a setup. Not only was Brian set up, but he's being set up in the court. And I can see wrongful conviction coming a mile away. And even as Brian did do this 100% all by himself, guess what? They're fucking the system up and trying to get him guilty. They are messing up so bad. Every court case sets a precedent for the next court case. That's why law is built upon law. It's built upon, if you ever read any document, you're like in 1982, the Novera versus the state of Wisconsin, this was a law and this was decided. Why are we referring back to those cases? Because that has already set a precedence. So what precedence is this Kohlberger case setting for the use of our DNA? Transparency has to be demanded. Sean Cullen says it's all scripted cover-up BS. It's an insult to our intelligence. Crooks. Robin Davis Duxworth says, outdoor girls, you are saying that BK stalked you in Boise a year prior to Oppings? He didn't live around them there. Right. Damn, thank you. You guys forget. Brian didn't move to the area but about 4 months. So if you were trying to put him in that area stalking you 6 months prior, didn't happen. Spineless John, right? Spineless John. Strutter 614 says, unfortunately, Eva Bill runs that courtroom, not the spineless judge. Sydney Neufeld says, horns are showing. Outdoor Girl says, no, he was, again, driving around in his car. He liked workout gyms. Well, we're going to get into how I really believe it right now. So I promised you that I would talk to you about how I believe. So we're going to switch places and we're going to get a third video going. So give me a minute. Could be this one. Let me see if this is the same one. That's the same one. Okay. Then it's this one. I want you to think about this, you guys. We're switching gears. Dead giveaway. That's how they found out. That is how they found out, in my opinion, about Kohlberger. Here's how it works. Brian Kohlberger registered his car 5 days after the homicide. Now, we all were talking as if you have to renew it that 1 month because it expires in that month, and so you have to renew it, blah, 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 blah. We forgot something. We forgot he could renew it anytime because he was switching from state to state. So, the sooner, the better. Why would he have not switched it sooner before the crime in order to blend in better with all the other white Hyundai Elantras only registered in Washington? Why would you leave your Pennsylvania plate to stand out and then drive that white car over to the murder scene? So I got to thinking about this. I went to get a headlight from Napa, and I happened to know the boys that worked there, the gentlemen. And I asked them, how do they know what headlight I need? And they're like, you just looked at my car and you went back and you got me the right headlight. And he's like, oh, I just ran your plate. I'm like, what? At Napa, he's like, we have the ability to run your license plate and know everything about you. Everything on your license plate record. And I'm like, about your car. And I'm like, you're kidding me. And then I was like, a light bulb went off. I'm like, of course. Kohlberger changed his plates 5 days after the murder. That's when all of a sudden we have all this cops finding him in the parking lot. Cop finding his car, same car twice, over at the apartment. I believe when he did that, they were, why run a tip line for all these white Hyundai Elantras when obviously we have a DMV that can do a damn report? You're a police station. What's one of the first things you're going to do? You're going to go down to the DMV with a warrant, and you're going to say, I need all white Hyundai Elantras between the years of 2011 to current date, please, that have been registered in Washington. You're going to do the same thing in Pullman and the other little surrounding towns. And guess what? 5 days after the murder, boom! Sorry, I wasn't supposed to make a big boom anymore. I was supposed to make quiet boom. I don't want y'all to hit me up. So, I'm thinking between that of him actually going there and registering his place, and he had just done his police thing and was rejected. They knew through that all they needed from him. That he was out-of-state boy, that he drove a white Hyundai Elantra, and they would just fudge the year. Okay? So, with him going to the DMV, it alerted a rolling update within the last 30 days, even if that is as far as they got in the report. Let's say they were like, give me it for the last year. Let's start with, obviously, from the time of the known crime, maybe a week before, and go forward and see what we get closest, or go backward in time, right? So that you get the most recent updates first. Well, Brian's got to be pretty damn close on the top of the damn list. I can see the yellow highlighter kind of highlighting that up there for the police officer right now. And so for me, the DNA line is just absolute bullshit. I think they're just doing the IgG bullshit. And I called bullshit on this DNA long before. And did y'all see my favorite girl, Jules of All Trade? She went over to Ortham. Couldn't find it. Not that it wasn't there. It's just it wasn't marked anywhere. Go watch her video so she can show you. And she did. Mighty good. She did boots on the ground trying to find where this Ortham that tested the DNA, where'd they test it? Where is the damn location? Joyful says, I gotta go. I have to take a shower, get ready to go out. You go out and enjoy the food with your mom, lovely. I love you, darling. Bye, Joyful. Tor 16 said, set him up and pinned him on a huge crime. Whew. Well, this was one of my bitchier lives, but it's the weekend, and I got to get it off my chest. I got to get it out of my head. I'm getting off the IDAHO4 case for the weekend. Now, I want to address this before I head out the door. And I do want to talk to you guys yet, so I'm going to be reading your statements, but go ahead, put them out there. I'm coming back to you in just about 30 seconds. Just for those of you that are asking, is Mama going to do any more tarot readings? All right, here's how it works. Once a week on Saturdays, we're going to do a tarot reading in the members section only. It is for members only, so it doesn't mess with our algorithm, okay? However, we still have our other channel, which is completely separate and could be in its own algorithm, which right now is called Ancestors Speak, that didn't go anywhere. And I really do miss doing tarot readings, but I also want to keep our analytical channel where we do what we do, where we call it, out. This is fact, this is talk, this is rumor, all that. I want to keep this so that it's moving forward, because as you've seen, our channel has absolutely exploded. Like the last time we talked at the beginning of this week, we were at almost 17,000, I believe, and now we're almost at 18,000. Like, it's happening almost overnight. So this is the right direction. And face it, Mama D has a gift for gab, right? And this is my passion. So I am going to try, we're going to do a 30-day trial starting this month in March over on the other channel. I'm not sure what the name is, so if you have ideas on names, I want it to be, true crime related probably, where we do look into our cases just like we were, but over there. Let me know what you think the name should be. All right, you guys, back into the heat of things on the IDAHO4 case. Ah, Outdoor Girl says, I love you all. Oh, you are so sweet, lovely. Yeah, Joanne says, Brian Kohlberger car. That killed me when she said that. Ugh, ugh, ugh. Nettie says, how did the security guards spot his car and call it in when it was the wrong year? That's why I'm saying I really honestly think they had their guy already pinpointed. Now, hear me out. I think on the fifth day after this happened, so on the 18th of November, Kohlberger went to Pullman, Washington at the DMV or wherever he went, and he renewed his license plate. Okay? So that is something that I know triggers an alert. Anybody that switches plates after a big crime. So I'm thinking that that would have alerted the cops right there because it's in the area, Pullman, and it's so close, right? So that alerted them. And at that point, I think that is when they began to put eyes on Kohlberger. Now, I believe that Crime Circus, Drip Drop, pointed out we had a Pennsylvania U-Haul. I think they were trying to rattle him out and shake the bush by putting that there. Because they were already thinking, is this our guy? Okay, is this our guy? Now, I'm very confused by this whole trip, why they would have let him go, unless they didn't have enough to hold on him. Okay? So I haven't quite figured that part out, why they would have let him leave the state. I haven't figured that out. But we go from that story where we know for a fact he renewed his place. We know for a fact that we have two security officers allegedly within a half hour of each other. Now, this is a story I wanted to show you. Let me see if I can get it up. I just did that little video. If you guys have not seen that video right here, go watch that. But I've got to open up this video down. Oh, you're going to see all the thumbnails we've done for the year. Okay. Ooh, I've got to get a website for you guys. Dead giveaway. I think it's this one. I hope I didn't delete the website. I didn't. Okay. Hold on. I wanted to read this with you. Idaho murders. Brian Kohlberger changed license plate 5 days after student slain. And it goes on to talk about the suspect in the grisly murders of 4 University of Idaho students switched his license plate 5 days after his car was spotted near the crime scene, according to state records and a newly unsealed case filing. Investigators believe Brian Kohlberger drove his 2015 white Hyundai Elantra from Pullman, Washington to Moscow, Idaho on November 13th when Kaylee Gonsalves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernoodle, and her boyfriend Ethan Chapin were stabbed to death. Moscow police said in an arrest affidavit released Thursday. Prior to the killings, Kohlberger had been driving his Elantra with a Pennsylvania plate LFC 8649, according to the affidavit. Before the slayings, Kohlberger was pulled over twice while driving with the Pennsylvania plate in Moscow on August 21st and at Washington State University in Pullman, where he had a PhD student on October 14th, according to the affidavit, where he was a PhD student, which said his Pennsylvania plate was set to expire on November 30th. So in this case, we just learned the answer to that. Here is the paperwork. And I will make sure and put this link if you want this paperwork. This is the actual paperwork Brian did. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Not that it matters right now, but why is this here, y'all? Oh, so if I make it bigger, it hides. You'd have to download it. But you can see the model of the year is 2015. You can see his VIN number if you want it. You want to look up Brian's car? There's his VIN. Odometer, 1015. Interesting. All right. And it talks about all this stuff. $274.25 for him to renew that plate. Last transfer date was November 18th, 2022. Okay? All right, let's get back into this. Let me make this get out of this somehow. I don't even know. Let's just hit rewind. Okay. Did I do it right? Did I do it right? Yes. Okay. So 4 days later, 4 days later, all right, you hearing me? After he renews his plate, we're now 5 days after the crime. We're now on our 9th day after the crime. 4 days later, a WSU police officer searched for a white Elantris registered to the school and discovered Kohlberger's car with Pennsylvania plate according to the affidavit. Later that same day, now allegedly it was only a half hour later, a different WSU police officer found Kohlberger's car in the Pullman parking lot about 10 miles from the crime scene, the affidavit says. Now listen to this. The next week, on December 7th, Moscow detectives said they wanted to speak with the occupants of a white Hyundai Elantra that was found in the area of the off-campus home where the 4 students were killed. My question is, big boom. Okay, I remember to do it small for headphone wearers. Is if they aren't talking till if they are not talking publicly on request till December 7th about the white Hyundai Elantra, what cued the Pullman, Washington State, whatever, University Police to even know to be looking for the white Hyundai Elantra unless the police knew they were looking for a white car with 1 license plate. They figured it was out of state because, like, if you go to Arkansas, you do not have to have, or at least you didn't when I lived there, you did not have to have a front plate at all. You only needed a back plate. That was it. But when I moved to Wisconsin and I came up here to transfer my plates, they gave me 2 plates. And I was like, why are you giving me 2 plates? And they're like, in Wisconsin, not like Arkansas, you have to display 2 plates. So my belief is that they were looking to see in their DMV, the police, if anybody had renewed their plates to blend in. And then the question I have, and this is going to look bad for Kohlberger, but why would you renew your plates for Washington to blend in after the crime when you're actually headed back to Pennsylvania and you're not going to blend in at all in Pennsylvania because you're going to have Washington plates? So it had to have all fell on the fact, and this is the only reason that I'm more comfortable with the concept that he didn't even think about it, because he actually needed to renew his plates. Where did it say that? Right there. He had to before he traveled, or his plates would have been expired. Nikki B says that report was on YouTube about the 4 dead and the 1 survivor in the first 48 hours, and it was an American news channel, capital letters beginning with a K, but I was unable to find anything. I think it got scrubbed, but I absolutely believe you, Nikki B. Sean Collins says, unfortunately at this point, Mama, we can't call any report they generate complete. We can call, okay, I gotcha. I get you. Donna Galvin says they must have lied about the car in Eugene, Oregon, because I have the paperwork and it's registered as an LLC, and that is Maddie's hometown. Just saying. Donna, can you email that to me, lovely, at rubberducky2005@yahoo.com? I would love to see that paperwork. I have wanted to see that paperwork on that car because that car bugs me. Right. You don't still have to. Okay. They're saying, Karen Guy says, no, you don't have to show both plates in Arkansas. Okay. Yeah, I knew I didn't. Blue Jean Baby says, I agree with you, Mama D. Nikki B says that couch girl was best friends allegedly with EB, Emma Bailey. Wonder why she didn't move in. Donna Galvin says, have any of you seen any info on Brett Kopacka having a military funeral as a Purple Heart vet? Do any of you know where he is buried at and cemetery is at? He should have had a 5-gun salute as a vet. Good questions. Taurus 16 says, couch girl has very wealthy parents, I heard. Sean Cullen says they both got lingered by their brother. Oh, fingered? What? I don't know what I'm reading. I don't want to read something that sounded naughty. Nikki B says, oh, I did read that. Okay. All right. So, you guys, Yvonne Poole says it got scrubbed, but I have screenshots of the reporter messaging with someone about the story. She verifies 4 dead, 1 in hospital. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you. If any of you can send me that, I would greatly appreciate it. And like I said, I apologize if I'm stepping on anybody's toes. I certainly am not meaning to as a creator, but I just can't wait on this story anymore because it's like, okay, if there is a survivor, that changes everything. Like a real survivor that got attacked by the actual person and lived to tell the tale. Now, if that person comes out and they're a survivor and they're like, finger Brian, I'll tell you right now, that will be enough for me. I will be like, yep, okay. All right, there's the evidence I've been waiting on. But like I said, until I can see some proof that that is Brian's car, until I can see some proof that Brian actually entered the home, I just can't. I can't. Sweet and Salty says BF allegedly passed out and went to the hospital. Well, then that could be your survivor is BF. That could be as simple as that. Because if she did pass out and there's dead bodies in there, more than likely they would check her out. And that could be the end of the story. It could be that simple. Hunt says Brett did live in Philadelphia at one time, maybe funeral arrangements there. Tiki Boo says, I'll finish watching tomorrow. I have to say goodnight. Well, lovely, you're right on time, Tiki Boo. I've been on here for days. Thank you for letting me vent. I appreciate you so much. You sent me a name for our YouTube channel. Okay, cool. Taurus 16, a lot of people on here are saying or asking, could it have been Bethany Funk that was the one sent to the hospital? Because allegedly she passed out. And so that could have been a true statement. And we still not have a 5th person, but the story still be true. All right, my lovely Luz, let me know in the comments down below what you think our other channel name should be. I would like to have true crime in the title. That way everybody knows what we're doing. Maybe a tarot on the channel. I don't know. Let me know. But if you are into tarot and you want to check out what is going on with the royal family, the British royal family, check out tomorrow with me in the members section. We're going to be live at noon and do an actual tarot reading. As Sassy says, everybody have a blessed night and weekend. 11/11 True Crime Family. I love you guys to the moon and back.